The things you think about determine the quality of your mind.
We've had detailed conversations in the past on how you are ensuring that braking solutions across the segments are evolving, and you've championed the cause of sustainable materials, championed the cause of high performance and higher value proposition to your customers. So let's start from there.
Sure.
How are the customers receiving this value proposition?
Very good. So I think we started a little bit of a transformation a few years ago in terms of our product innovation, sustainability journey.
Right.
And I would say we're really hit our stride, and there's a lot that's changed even from 2 years ago, last year, to what we're showcasing this year.
Right.
And many of the customers who've come by at the component show this year, I think have been surprised with just how much there is in the portfolio.
Right.
A lot of interesting innovations that are specific customer value generating items that they can sell to their customers.
Sure.
So I think we've had very good interest levels and just opening eyes of customers in terms of what they can offer their end customers.
Right.
So just looking at product innovation, looking at a braking system, I think number one is safety.
Right.
I think that is predominant, and that over the years has gotten very stable. I think we're very happy with where we are on that front.
Right.
What I think is really now coming into fruition in the braking world is add-on features to the braking system.
Right.
So I think even last time we talked about features such as parking brakes.
Yes.
Right. That again we're showcasing a whole range of products.
Right.
All the way from passenger cars to buses and trucks, where you have e-park,
Yes.
where you just push a button you can park the vehicle.
Right.
Hill hold, so when you're on a ramp, whether it's all the way from a passenger car or a small commercial vehicle to a bus, rollback is prevented and it's an easy, smooth start.
Right, halo resist, etc. coming in.
Correct.
Right.
So I think that full range of additional features is there, and many of the products now are getting software and mechatronically enabled.
Right.
So you see many of those there. I think if you look at the passenger car segment, we have a set of innovations to do with electric.
Right.
But especially on the commercial vehicle side, if you look at, we have a lot of new products there which are in the pneumatic braking space.
Right.
So from wheel end braking, the entire pneumatic system is now being offered by Brakes India. We've already launched with many of the major OEs.
Sure.
So I think that full product range is on display there today.
In this particular forum, there's a lot of stress on BEVs, and somehow there seems to be a sweet spot in the 55-tonner space also. So let's start heavy and then come down to your LCV solutions. We are looking at calipers. As you said, there's a lot more actuation on the existing products. A word on what does it mean in terms of high efficiency and high uptime for these very demanding vehicles?
So at the highest end, if you look at, two things we're showcasing here. The air disc brake, right? So in the 55-ton range, I will come to, but especially in heavy buses, etc.
Right.
Uptime is very critical. Intercity buses, etc.
Right.
So we're showcasing our air disc brake here, where serviceability is this much easier and far less frequent.
Sure.
Right. So uptime goes up significantly. That coupled with an electromagnetic retarder that we mount on the propeller shaft of the vehicle, really enables, typically when they would need to stop the vehicle every 1 lakh kilometers, extending it to 5 lakh kilometers, right? So it's a huge saving in terms of total cost of ownership for a fleet to have our electromagnetic retarder coupled with the disc brakes.
Right.
So that is one we're showcasing here.
Right.
In the heaviest end, we've honestly, in our pneumatic system, we've launched very heavy duty brake actuators, which just reliability wise have gone up. We have a specific product called a condensate separator.
Okay.
So when they're working in heavy conditions, mining applications off the field, there's a lot of dust and oil pickup that happens in the system, which leads to a lot of servicing requirements.
Right.
So this cuts that down by a factor of 4.
Okay, wow.
So I think that is again something we're showcasing. Lastly, I would just say that especially in the heavy vehicle space, a lot of things to do with like our electric park, e-park features, right? Especially when you have mining applications, tipper applications, vehicles are on slopes a lot. Brake is used very frequently.
Right.
So this eliminates a lot of the fatigue to do with that application.
So speed to surface can be really, really demanding on the vehicle.
Yeah.
Right. On the lower end of the spectrum and also on the trailer side, what's happening over there? You have specific, in fact, there's been a lot of thrust on the LCV space with your recent JV with Advix. Tell us on how that has evolved.
Sure. So let's split it. So on the trailer segment specifically,
Yes.
one thing that's changing in the Indian market context
Right.
is the advent of tractor trailers, right?
Yes.
This was something that was relatively small 5-6 years ago,
Yes.
maybe even 8 years ago, and the adoption has picked up significantly.
Right.
So we have specific products there that are catered to the trailer segment, so palm couplings all the way to trailer actuated braking we
Right.
have completely there.
Right.
Specifically, if you look at the lower range on LCV and below, Advix is a part of the solution, right?
Right.
But the entire smaller end of the vehicles is hydraulically braked, similar to a passenger car, large SUV.
Got it.
So there, electrification is one aspect. The second one is a lot of the features that we're talking about on parking, etc. So if you see, we have a motor on actuator,
Right.
which is basically taking the entire EV context in space, allowing regen and gradual brake blending. So that is on display,
Right.
as well as some of our high performance braking products. for
Right.
that
So
region.
how do you wish to,
Do we need to
as a final question,
Delegations are
can we take a final, just wrap it up? A
Yeah.
final question?
Final question.
Just one question, under 1 minute, yeah. For this last quarter and the next fiscal, what are the projections? Where do you plan to end over here, and what do you hope from the next fiscal?
So last year, Brakes India closed about 7,500 crores
Yes.
in revenue. In the coming year, we see a relatively flat market for us,
Okay.
right? Commercial vehicles has gone down, passenger cars
Yes.
done well, exports has been a little bit of struggle, especially
Yes.
with the European market. So we see a relatively flat year this year.
Okay.
Next quarter, of course, is looking up a little bit, but relatively flat year.
Right.
In the coming years, again, I think if you look at 25, 26 as a financial
where you
year,
expect to
passenger
pick up.
car, we expect to continue growing, continued value add. Commercial vehicles have a little bit of recovery.
Right.
So we're not expecting tremendous growth, but I think to do with the Indian growth story will continue. Right.
Right.
So I think we are forecasting growth with the industry.
Right, we
in the
close
next
on
year.
that high. Thank you so much for joining
Thank you
us.
so much. Really appreciate it.